Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to day 34. The idea for today is I could see peace instead of this. Obviously, peace is what we're all going for. So cool. It's an idea that you're in charge. You're in charge of what you put through your own little noggin. You're in charge of what you allow to stay there. You're in charge of what you create for your own life. You guys, we're all just practicing this life so we can practice the things that bring us pain, or we can practice the things that heal us, as my beautiful friend Jen Stanton says. She's a coach too. We're all coaches. Everybody's a coach. Everybody does coach something in their own way usually. Not everybody, but most people. Anyways, the idea for today begins to describe the conditions that prevail in the other way of seeing. Peace of mind is clearly an internal matter. It must begin with your own thoughts and then extend outward. It is from your peace of mind that a peaceful perception of the world arises. I find this so true. And I told my daughter not too long ago, it was like, I've done a lot of self-development in the last year. Like I've been in the self-development world for a long time. But this past year, something finally clicked and some things have actually changed. And there's been like upward trajectory and I'm a new version of myself. So I was talking to my 10-year-old about that essentially. Like, a year ago, this is how I probably would have responded to this situation. And now this is how I've responded to the situation, right? I said, and what's changed, right? The same people in our family, the same people live in the same house we live in, the same town we live in. I'm the same body, right? So what's changed? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, me, right? The way that I've chosen to see things, to react to things, to initiate action around things, the way that I am perceiving the world and relating to and interacting with the world, that's what changed, right? So I'm going to say this last sentence again for the people in the back. Well, 2 sentences. Peace of mind is clearly an internal matter. Peace of mind. It must begin with your own thoughts and then extend outward. 3 sentences. It is from your peace of mind that a peaceful perception of the world arises. Boom. I mean, really, I could probably just turn this off for the rest of the year. We've done it, right? That's all you need to know. You're welcome. Just kidding. So 3 longer practice periods are required for today's exercises. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and 1 anytime between those 2 that's most convenient for you time-wise. Okay, all of them should be done with your eyes closed because it is your inner world to which the application of today's idea should be made. Makes sense? 5 minutes of searching are required for the practice. Search your mind for fear thoughts, anxiety-provoking thoughts or situations, offending personalities or events, or anything else about which you are harboring unloving thoughts. Note them all casually, repeating the idea for today slowly as you watch them arise in your mind, and then let each one go to be replaced by the next. Again, fluid, right? Fluidity as we're doing these thoughts coming through our mind. And you don't want to be abrupt. You don't want to be like, I'm done thinking about that. Think about this next thing, right? Just slowly start to release this idea and start to bring this next one in. Just fluidity. If you begin to experience and thinking about specific subjects, just continue to repeat the idea to yourself in an unhurried manner without applying it to anything in particular. Be sure, however, not to make any specific exclusions. Like right now, my husband's aunt, it's a long story that I'm grappling with, dealing with. And again, a year ago, it wouldn't have been as pretty as it's been. She accused me of something I didn't do in May and was real mean, like said real mean things to me. And I used nonviolent communication. I tried to say, like, it wasn't me. Like, I really don't appreciate you accusing me of things I didn't do. Can we have a conversation about this? Like, deaf ears, fell on deaf ears. And since then, it has just gotten worse because I refuse to normalize or enable that kind of behavior. Like, no, I spent way too long not having boundaries and letting people walk all over me and it hurting me, right? Really, literally, emotionally and mentally hurting me, and sometimes physically, to not have boundaries, like with my former husband, right? To not have boundaries physically hurt me in that, I mean, there were some real intense physical altercations and he was not a small person, right? So anyways, while you're doing these practice periods, you can't exclude anything. And like in this case, right, I just got certified mail saying that she's also our landlord, which makes it even more complicated, that she's raising our rent another $1,000. She raised it $800 last January, right? So I could go into stories, I could go into patterns, I could go into all of the things, allowing my emotions to get the best of me. I could go into all the things I used to do. I could go into victim mode. I could go into all of those things. But instead of excluding this situation in my practice periods, and instead of allowing myself to do all of those things that I just listed that a year ago I 100% would have done, instead of those things, how can I find peace of mind around it instead of allowing any of those things to happen, right? So the shorter applications that you go throughout the day should be frequent. And when you feel your peace of mind is threatened in any way, right? So as soon as I start thinking about my husband's aunt, this is the time to immediately say the idea for today for myself, right? Anything that's not bringing complete peace in the moment, say this idea to yourself. It'll help pattern interrupt as well as solidify the idea for the Course in Miracles that we're working on. Okay. So the purpose is to protect yourself from the temptation throughout the day to allow the peace to be taken from you. So if a specific form of temptation arises in your awareness, the exercise should take this form. I could see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it. I could see peace in this situation instead of seeing myself being persecuted like I see now, right? When I get frustrated with my kids, I could see peace in this situation instead of the frustration I have with my kids. It makes sense. If the aversion to your peace of mind takes the form of a more general emotion, such as depression, anxiety, worry, use the idea in its original form. If you find you need more than one application of today's idea to help you change your mind in any specific context, try to take several minutes and devote them to repeating the idea until you feel some sense of relief. It will help you if you tell yourself specifically, I can replace my feelings of depression, anxiety, and worry, or my thoughts about this situation, personality, or event with peace. This is right in time because I literally got the certified letter this morning about my rent being raised. So instead of reacting poorly, I am going to really, really deeply apply this idea to myself today, and hopefully always, because it's actually a really great way to regulate your emotions. Okay, tap, journal, comment, love you. Bye.